So I realized something today on Etsy. I thought it was weird the other day, but sometimes I'm just going like 100 million miles an hour and little details can slip through the cracks. Trying to be better about it, but there's a lot going on. But today I was going through my listings on Etsy because I'm altering some stuff that I've taken over to the sale for the vintage clearance sale this Saturday in Raleigh. And I noticed it the other day. So on Etsy, if you don't know, every time you list an item, you have to pay 20 cents, right? So, and then if it doesn't sell in 4 months, you have to relist it and pay another 20 cents. So every time you do that is 20 cents. Now, Etsy gives you two options. You can do a manual renew. It's still the same price, but you can do a manual renew, which if you are, I don't know, I go back and forth on the manual renew and the auto renew, right? So that's your other option where it expires and Etsy will automatically renew it and charge you 20 cents. So, right now, because I'm clearing out a bunch of inventory, I'm trying to make sure that things aren't auto renewing, that I'm taking over to the sale, right? Because if it sells, I don't want to pay 20 cents and have it sell Saturday, and that's 20 cents. I mean, it can add up. So I was updating something and I was like, oh, that's supposed to auto renew on September 4th. I'm going to pop it in, what it looks like, so you can see. So I go into the editing and I scroll down to the bottom, which is where it's located, and I see this. That says December 7th, when the auto renew on the other screen was showing me September 4th. So if I went in and clicked that off auto renew, right, it's still going to charge me 20 cents because it's going to push it out to December 7th. That is some shady, shady crap. And I read everything that Etsy sends out to the sellers, and I didn't see anything about that change. I don't love that. So watch out if you're a reseller who is changing these auto renewals to a manual renew, that you don't get like pinged for it. So basically what I'm going to do is if it sells, I'll just deactivate it. Instead of adjusting it from auto renewal to manual renew. That's why it's kind of vital that I've been going through my bins and doing an inventory audit all week, just to find out what I've sold and make sure that it's not still listed in the shop, because that happened. I sold something last Saturday and sure enough, that same day, like literally a couple hours after I sold it at the vintage sale, the physical one, someone bought it online. So I had to contact the buyer online and say, I'm sorry, that's not available, which really sucks. So I'm just trying to dance at two weddings with one butt. Or what is the other saying? Busier than a one-legged man at an ass-kicking contest. I'm sorry. Language, whatever. So anyways, yeah, watch out for that. That's not some BS, Etsy. I don't approve. I'm sure they're upset that Renee doesn't approve. But anyways, it's Friday, y'all. And I'm working on a few things here, getting the sales up online on the different social media outlets. And then later this afternoon, I'm going to go over and start rearranging and setting everything up, because I have pulled a ton more stuff. I'll have a video about that later today. Thanks. Bye.